Good evening. This is Belfast-born stage actor, TV actor and film actor Jimmy Greene. He was born in 1931 and he died in January 2021. That means he was 89 when he died. And I want to include Jimmy Greene in a wee series of videos that I have called Gone But Not Forgotten. Now, why would Jimmy Greene appear in this wee series? You will probably not know this man, but I do. And people of a certain age who have lived in Northern Ireland or grew up in Northern Ireland will also know this man. He's not a well-known personality. He's not a big celebrity or anything else, but he's known to me. He's known to me because he's connected to my childhood in Banbridge. Who was Jimmy Greene? And why do I remember him so well? And why do I want to include him in my wee series, Gone But Not Forgotten? Jimmy Greene was born on the Ormeau Road. His father was a shipyard worker, but Jimmy decided early on in life that the yard was not for him. He wanted to go into acting. He cut his acting teeth, so to speak, in the Arts Theatre and the Group Theatre in Belfast during the 1950s. And he was well known and he was popular. He came across as a very quiet man, a man of high standards, and he had a dry sense of humour. And these attributes remained with him right throughout his acting career, whether he was on stage or whether he was in film or anything else. Directors knew that this man was honest, he had integrity, and he was dependable. And he became known as a polished character actor. But in the early 60s, he was drawn away, or in the late 50s and early 60s, he was drawn away from acting. And he was drawn away by the UTV, which was really getting off the ground at that time. And Jimmy Greene joined a group of 6 other folks that appeared every other night on UTV. They either were continuity announcers or they read the news, but they came into our living rooms night after night, and they became well known to us. And this group included the likes of Ivor Mills, Ernie Strathday, Adrian McGill. I think she became Miss Adrian of Romper Room fame, and then there was Brian Durkin, and there were a few others as well. And these people, these early newsreaders and continuity people would have set the benchmark for people like Eamon Holmes coming along behind them. Jimmy Greene would have been about 20, in his late 20s at this stage. But he didn't stay with UTV for any length of time. He was there from 1959 through to 1965. And then, and I found it remarkable in the years following, he seemed to sort of disappear. So what had happened to him? Well, in 1965 he had decided to resurrect his stage presence, and he tread the boards once again, this time throughout quite a number of English theatres. And by just sheer hard work and determination, by 1972 he was beginning to get noticed, in a small way, but noticed nevertheless. He even went across to America and was on a few American stages as well. By 1974, he was making his mark on television and indeed film, in a very low-key sense. His TV work and his film work was constant, if unspectacular, and he racked up many appearances in many TV series and films. So what kind of characters did he play? He played lawyers and judges and clergymen and army officers, both acting and retired. And these roles were honed to perfection. On TV, he was in the likes of Heartbeat, Holby City, Sherlock Holmes, Doctor Who, Merlin, Birds of a Feather, Downton Abbey, Called the Midwife, and Shetland, William and Mary, and more recently he was in the adventures of, well, the life and adventures of Nicholas Nickleby, and then he was also in David Williams' production. He was in 2013 was he was head of science at Greybridge School in the sitcom Big School. The man just kept going. He was prolific in his output. As regards films, he was in Emperor of the Sun, The Prince and the Pauper, Band of Brothers, Johnny English, and I forgot to mention, Midsummer Murders and Taggart, and there were quite a number of other films that he was in as well. This is Jimmy Greene in a 2013 production of TV production of Sherlock Holmes. So Jimmy Greene, remembered fondly from my childhood days and further beyond, and here he is in Big School, the science teacher. Gone but not forgotten. An acting career that spanned, 60 plus years? A remarkable character.